was going out there. This is Feed Your Mind. And so Russia has massed their troops near Ukraine. They're ready to go in if at any time. I mean, the tensions are definitely rising over there. And the U.S. is jumping in. They're saying that they might be sending about 8,500 troops over there. Plus, the U.S. has teamed up with the U.K. to send Ukraine a whole bunch of weapons. So they're arming the Ukrainians and they're taking sides. I mean, that's like a blatant taking sides. So now they're involved. I mean, the U.S. just jumped right in. And it's like, so Russia wants Ukraine like basically part of their team again, because I guess it was like the 90s or something where Ukraine became independent. I'm not sure of the date, but I know it wasn't all that long ago where, yeah, Ukraine became independent from Russia because they're right there. It's just divided by an imaginary line. So Ukraine and then Russia, pretty much the same country, but they're two different countries. Kind of like how North Korea and South Korea are. So it's like they're right there, separated by an invisible border. And so Russia, Putin, he pretty much wants Ukraine back on his team. And this is what they're saying as far as the mainstream media. I mean, I'm analyzing this from a mainstream media. I know behind the scenes, a lot of countries are working together to pull the wool over the eyes of the general public. But just analyzing this from the surface level perspective, I mean, this is what I'm getting out of it. So basically the U.S., yeah, they're arming the Ukraine and they're ready to jump in the battle. So this isn't going to look good. I mean, I've heard prophecies. Well, I don't know if you can call them prophecies, but because this guy named Dmitry Duduman was saying something about similar to something like this happening. And then in his assessment of what's going to happen, he said he was given this vision or something. He said like China would end up getting involved and it would become a big mess. So it'd be this could turn into a literal World War III. I mean, I'm not saying that's what's going to happen, but the tensions are rising over there, so we'll just have to wait and see what happens. I think it's another way to look at what's going on is just to see kind of like how a lot of the narrative they're saying might be falling apart with what's going on with the you-know-what, the thing that we are not to speak of, right? We're not allowed to speak of and stuff. So anyways, with that whole thing, they're saying like this whole thing could be a distraction, just ready to go, something to in case things kind of start falling apart with that whole thing. Also, Biden's poll numbers are very low now. So it's like the world is waking up. Well, America's waking up. They're saying he has like a 39% approval rating. I don't think so. I mean, I think it's lower than that because it's like when you look up his poll rating, it's like I can tell there's a serious filter on it. It's like if you look it up on this platform, it's every time I looked it up, it was like they barely wanted to cover it, his poll ratings. And I think the only ones that they're acknowledging as the ones that I really don't trust, and then their ratings are even coming down. It's like, to me, they were propping them up for so long. It was like they're trying to say 45%, stuff like that. These polls, the ones that the mainstream media uses, those polls, I think something's off with them for sure. But even they can't really prop them up anymore because they're even coming down to like 39. So, I mean, that's a problem for them, and they're gonna wanna, like, if it's lower than that in real life, I mean, they might want to use this whole thing to if they want to try to keep them in office. It's like sometimes they'll do like some type of war, and it'll be right around a convenient time, when people are voting and stuff. So the midterms are coming up. I don't know. We'll have to see what happens from this. I mean, you never know with these things. These things happen a lot. I mean, this type of stuff happens often, and a lot of times nothing comes of it. But you never know. There could always be that one time when something actually goes through, and we never know when that's gonna be. It's kind of like the boy who cried wolf, where it's like this has happened so many times in the past. It's like, with Israel and this, the surrounding areas around there, and things will escalate, tensions will escalate, and then it just kind of goes away. Just slowly just fizzles out. They start talking about sanctions, and that's going to be drawn out forever. It's like sanctions. It's like, well, we know nothing's going to really come of this. This is going to just just a distraction, basically. And then, like I said earlier, there's things going on behind the scenes with all this stuff, like with all the countries possibly working together behind the scenes and putting on a big WWE show. Well, what is it, WWF, whatever, the wrestling, it's like a wrestling show where it's like, yeah, I don't even know their names, too much of them. I think like Hulk Hogan, Ronnie Savage or something. Like, these characters, they're like talking stuff to each other on the screen, making it like they're hyping up stuff. And sometimes you can look at it like that, where it's just like something that they're up to. But it's real life stuff though. Like, even if it's behind the scenes, they're all friends and stuff. That doesn't change that in the real world, in our reality, things could actually happen because there are real live troops involved, and there's orders of war. Like, people would have to like literally be sent out there to battle, and things could escalate in real life. The Bible even says nations will rise against nation, kingdom against kingdom. So this is going to be some real life stuff coming up one of these times. You never know when it's going to be, but right now we'll just have to keep our eyes open and just kind of watch what's going on. I mean, still live your life and everything, but just kind of, you don't want to be ignorant about what's going on in this world either, You kind of got to stay alert, be prepared, and be prayed up and all that. So with the Dimitri Duduman thing, the guy that said he had a vision, well, he said things could get pretty crazy, just like the Bible said, But with all the countries, just it could just snowball, because like really, you would think, well, U.S. just so blatantly jumping in this situation is just like, wow. You got leaders here just making big decisions like that, like going all out to protect Ukraine. And it's like, I mean, I guess they don't want Russia getting more powerful. I think I was listening to the Prophecy Club. He was saying something about Russia, like, I think he called it the bear. And I think the Bible might have said the bear too. I don't know. But yeah, it's like there's something that could possibly be going on with this situation. We'll just have to wait and see. I mean, we'll take it all each day at a time. One day at a time. We'll see. Just see what's going on and stuff. And like I said, nothing might happen from it, but you never know. One of these days, something might actually kick off where, it's happened before, World War I and World War II, where all the countries get involved and it becomes a big thing. So one of these days, something like that could happen again. Yeah, I want to stay tuned because we're gonna have to go back over this whole thing about leadership and civilization. I mean, we'll have to discuss more detail. I mean, okay, with a population of 7 billion people on this earth, is it even like realistic for there to be a time when there's no leaders involved? So yeah, we're gonna have to go over that. I mean, and is that anarchy? Like, if no leaders are involved, is how would civilization behave? Like, I don't even know if that is that even possible in any reality where a large group of people just populate the earth and then nobody's like, okay, let me start making roads and hospitals, police departments, fire departments, like organized civilization. Is that like inevitable, or would it take something very spiritual to happen for that to happen? Like, I don't think like. Anyways, we're getting off into a whole nother discussion. So yeah, let's cover that in another video. So yeah, um, I'll leave a link in the comment section if you want to learn more information about what's going on in Russia and Ukraine. Also, I'll leave a link if you'd like to donate to this channel. You can donate as little as $1 to help keep things going here at Feed Your Mind. I'll also leave links to my social media and my other channels. So thank you for tuning in. This has been Feed Your Mind, signing off.